Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Temi, Nigerian mom in diaspora. I do videos about life in the United Kingdom, but many of my videos are informative enough to help you settle finally into the UK. I have made these mistakes myself and I don't want you to make them. So I've been breaking the myth, I've been breaking the whatever the lies or the misconceptions about certain things that live about life in the UK. So if you've made a mistake before, you don't want other people to make it, this is kind of platform that you share such information. So today we are going to be breaking, but before I go into that, please subscribe to my channel. I don't say it enough, but please subscribe to my channel. So before we're going to be breaking the misconception around a credit score. Now, a credit score is not something that is so mystified. It's just a set of number or a number that lenders use to know if you qualify for a certain service or a loan, a credit card, a mortgage, and stuff like that. So yeah, this is what credit score is really. So does everybody have a credit score? Yes, some might be much more or less inaccurate than the others, but everybody has a credit score to a large extent. Now, as a new immigrant, there are ways for you to keep your credit score fair, good, good enough without having to actually get your hands messy. And when I first came to the UK, all I knew about credit score was, you need to increase your credit. And I went ahead to do things that I could not afford just to keep my credit score. Unfortunately for me, I got into bad debt because I couldn't afford them. And I didn't have to do them. All I needed to do was to keep my standard of living the way it was. But I didn't know about that. So I got into a bad mess. And it totally affected my credit score. Also, I didn't get to resolve money issues fast enough for it not to become a big issue, for it not to affect my credit score. I'll take, for example, my internet at that time. I couldn't afford to pay for it at some point. And instead of me to just call the internet service and say, look, I can't afford to pay for this at this time anymore. Let me just cancel whatever the debt I need to pay or whatever the amount of money that I need to pay for cancellation fee, because most of these internet providers, they'll tell you have to be on their network for two years or else you have to pay for leaving them, So instead of me to have just called and said, look, I need to pay for that, let me pay that away and then cancel, I was accumulating their debt until they finally had to cancel me, and that had given me about £300 in debt. So obviously those are some of the ways that I could have managed my credit score a little bit better. So that's why I'm explaining to you now how you might be able to manage your credit score better as a new immigrant. So let's get into the crux of the matter. Now, credit score in the UK varies for different reasons. For example, the average credit score is for different parts of the UK. So I have a list of about 4 cities in the UK, and then we're going to check their average score. So this average score means that if you come from this region and you have this kind of score, you're not seen as it may not be a high score, it may be a low score or a fair score, but you're not seen as somebody too different from the majority. Now, you may want to, obviously, you may still have to increase your credit score a little higher and stuff like that, but you're not seen as a bad borrower or a bad borrower. You're not seen as somebody who may not be able to keep your credits. Okay, so for the City of London, if you're age 21 to 25, this is the average credit score: 869 over 999. Some people use 999, some people use 1000. So Birmingham, for the age of 21 to 25, your average score is 762. Glasgow, for example, it's 769 for age 21 to 25. Newcastle upon Tyne is 764 for 821 to 25. Now, if you move upwards to 26 to 30, we have London at 896 for the average, Birmingham at 749, Glasgow at 770, and Newcastle upon Tyne at 760. And then if you turn 31 to 35, in London it's 911, which is absolutely wonderful, because out of 999 you have 911 as your credit score. Birmingham, we have 744. In Glasgow, we have 763. And Newcastle at 744 as well. So you see that it varies from age to age and from region to region. Now, as a new immigrant, how do you boost your credit score? First of all, you need to get your name on the electoral register. Why do you need to get your name on the electoral register? Because your information is almost scanty. So you need to get yourself on the electoral roll, because you need to be provable. You need to be sure that you're not an identity thief. They need to be sure that you're legitimately in the UK. If you're not on the electoral roll, I think to open the electoral roll, to be on the electoral roll, which I will leave in the link in the description box, it's updated every month, so you can always get your name on the electoral roll. I think you'll need stuff like your national insurance number. Another way to make your credit score high is to make sure that all your household bills are on your name, not on your landlord's. Now, that's why when people ask me, I want a house with bills inclusive, I'm like, do you really want that? It's good for you to pay your bills yourself. Some people use key payment for their electricity and their gas, but your bills like your internet, your council tax, if you have to pay, your TV license, your Netflix, those things are bills, and it shows on your phone contract. Now we'll get back to phone contracts. However, those things show on yourself as bills. Now, I for one wouldn't say you should get phone contracts once you get into the UK, because you don't know how the turns of events may occur. But the things that are your everyday bills are better than going out to get something that you probably may not need. You don't know if you need it or not. So if you've got a new phone when you were coming to the UK, why do you need to change it immediately you came into the UK? Because you want to boost your credit. That's like just putting yourself in debt, and a debt of 2 years, 1 year. You don't need that. You can save your money to buy your phone, really. It will show anyway. It will show on your bank statement when you're asking for your banks, when the banks or the lenders need your bank statement. It will surely show that you've made heavy payments, and that's what they want to see. They want to see how you make payments. The lenders want to see what kind of payments you make. So if you have a bank account and then you take out £600 once to go and buy a phone, say, oh, this person is rich, this person has money. So sorry to divert, but back to what I was saying. So make sure that your bills, your legitimate bills, not bills that you went to acquire. You don't need to acquire bills just because you want to increase credit score. Like I said earlier, you don't need to get on Kayla now. You don't need to get a credit card to have bills to pay. Even your everyday bills is already enough to show that you pay your bills. When you're paying your rent to your landlord as well, make sure to write it in the description for rent. Now, these are the other things that they will also take into consideration, because it's not just credit score that they take into consideration before they pay you or before they lend you money. They want to see the inflow and the outflow of your money, which leads me to the third point, which is open a bank account. And so you need to have a bank account, and this one that you will need to link is the one that you would be using for bills payments, to receive salaries, to receive your wage. That one has to be, because that's the one that lenders will see to say, oh, this person is, this person has a job, this person she's somebody, or he or she's somebody that we can end up borrowing money. Then you need to get a job. A good job would always increase your credit score, no matter what. If you don't have a job, trust me, your credit score is going to be a bit low. At the end of this video, I'll try to explain how credit score is being worked out. Now, another thing is, don't always try to loan money. So whilst you're building your credit score, when you go broke, don't go to this lender, quickly borrow me money. Go to this lender. There's something called hard and soft check whenever a lender wants to borrow you money. So for the hard check, it will affect your credit rating. That means that other lenders will be able to see that you've tried to borrow money from this person and they said no. And even if they said yes, you've tried to borrow it, within, let's say, another 1 week, you're already trying to look for another lender to borrow money from. Other lenders will see you as a red flag. They'll see you as high risk, because that means you are living from borrow to borrow to borrow to borrow, which is not good. One time you will get into a very bad debt. Okay, so try not to borrow money at all. Try not to borrow money too much. Give yourself a space of 6 months before you try to apply for another loan. And check your credit reports from time to time. Now, this is a myth that so many people say, I don't want to check my credit report because I don't want them to give me a credit score. I don't want to. No way. Everybody has a credit score, like I've said. Some just inaccurate than others. And if you don't check your credit report from time to time, you would end up with confusing credits. If I checked my report from time to time, I would have seen where I was making the mistake. Now, I was making a mistake in my council tax and some other payments, but my council tax was a big, huge mistake. I didn't have to pay that much money. All I needed to do was to give them a phone call and sort it out, which I didn't. I just let it slide. Like I said about my internet as well. So I was just letting it slide because I wasn't checking my credit score from time to time. When I did, I was confused. So those are the ways that you can keep your credit score high, low, medium, fair enough. Now, in my next video, we're going to talk about loans like mortgage, like personal finance, like car finance, like credit cards. Do you need them? What do you need them for? How they affect your credit score and stuff like that. Okay, like I said I was going to talk about the 4 main important things and how your credit score is being calculated. So the first thing is your personal information, where you work, your salary, your income, your family. They want to know all of those things about you, how you pay your bills and stuff like that. Then we have credit history, which is your debts, any debts you have, any debts you owe, any debts you've paid in the past, how fast did you pay them. Then we've got your inquiries, which is why you always asking for loan. Today you ask for credit loan. Tomorrow you ask for credit cards. Tomorrow you ask for payday loans. Every time you're always borrowing loan, because the more you borrow loan, you leave a footprint, and the more lenders check into your credit profile, they leave a footprint. So obviously it looks like, why are you always borrowing? And then we have public records, so those are all the 4 things. Public records, like court cases, like like your electoral roll and stuff like that. Okay, so that's it. I hope it's simplified enough. Like I said, my next video, we're going to talk about all things mortgages, all things loans, credit cards. In fact, we're going to break them down. We're going to talk about credit cards. How do they affect your credit score, good or bad? Do you need them? Do you not need them? So yes, I've come to the end of the video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. And I'm just laughing at myself now because I said that my last video was going to be the one I posted last, but based on popular demand, I'm posting this one again. All right, guys. So I don't know if this is my last video for the year. I may still post tomorrow. Never can tell. So yeah, see you guys. Bye.